This is Sunil R Here basically we are discussing about the topic of city creation. In this basically we are discussing about this combination basically. That basically University of Oxford group basically 100% might be known, but they can't do the experiment. Reason, see the combination basically how they are going to do the experiment. If they are doing the experiment, then basically they have to create the cities. It might possible that basically the city when they are going to create that time basically thousands of problem will come. So instead of that basically they might be doing the experiment basically in live city only basically. That's why basically the lots of problems basically are there. So 3,50,000 cities, 12,000 projects, this many words. Basically, the team members are going to communicate more than this employees, more than this many power supply data, more than 13,000 buildings basically of the binary data. So just see the combination basically. See the combination. And here one thing basically I forget that 6 crore human blood cells. That basically is the very and multiply by 22 blood cell groups data. That is A positive, B positive, C positive, D positive, E positive, F positive, G positive, whatever data positive or negative basically. So like this basically things basically are there. So just see the combination only basically. This is the combination basically, and this is the combination basically. This combination basically is connected with this group basically. So this group has to handle this combination in the environment basically. That's why basically they are University of Oxford basically. That's why they have given the name University of Oxford, number one university basically, and the oldest university. Reason, they are basically handling these all words basically in the environment basically. They are handling basically. If by chance they are not able to handle, then basically the person basically who are basically going to communicate with these words basically. For example, this word basically already communicated. This many words already communicated with the 12,000 project group basically. Sorry, this many words is already communicated by the 12,000 projects and by the 20 lakh employees. And then basically after that basically 12,000 crore words basically which is generated in the environment, if something is basically happening, then basically this group will be responsible. So for that basically they are basically might be doing the flushing also basically. But in this flushing basically the problem will come basically, that is the idea, that is the next level idea basically which is going to connect, that will not get generated basically. So flushing will not work basically. So this basically has to be handled. That is the 12,000 crore words basically combination basically that needs to handle, and that has to connect to the next level ideas basically. So that basically Oxford University group, that is the nuclear power company group, they are doing basically. So Oxford University basically can't do anything basically. They can basically just give the words basically and nothing else basically they can do. Rest of thing basically the university group of the nuclear power company group, that group only basically can do. So this group basically can do is basically that they basically will create the paragraph, they will create the set of words, they will basically explain the paragraph basically in diagram way basically. For example, one person told that basically the things basically you can explain in 10 paragraph na, that you can explain just in 2 paragraph plus diagram basically. So that type of education system basically has to be changed. So that basically is also possible to ignore this type of word combination data basically. This type of word combination data. So that basically also one of the system change basically. That basically few people basically only understand words basically, what is written basically, because in that basically few people says that basically everything is written clearly basically, but in diagram basically nothing is clear basically. Its diagram is there basically, but clear picture basically is not there basically. So few people basically say that we don't prefer the diagram basically, we prefer the words only. So that also basically might, because whatever things basically they do, they might have faced some problem. For example, the people basically are doing the 100 plane crash basically, they are basically might not be doing that type, no basically. they might have got some problem basically. That's why they might be doing that basically. They might have faced some problem basically. That's why basically they might be doing basically. That's why basically they might be doing. So like this basically things are basically there. So see the combination basically. See the combination basically. See the combination. So this combination basically is everything. If this is solved, then everything is solved. But to handle this basically, and this everything basically, this has to be handled, and this has to be handled very powerfully basically. So this will be the base basically, so that basically this, more than this many words basically can be communicated between the team members, and the basically the ideas basically will get to next level with the help of the power supply company basically. So this group basically are playing the main role basically, and these projects basically are designed by the nuclear power company and the power company basically, that are created by nuclear plus power companies plus energies companies. So just see basically the combination basically. So just see the combination basically. See the combination. One of the person told that basically, can we do this experiment basically in that Italy basically? Then he told that basically they are doing this only basically. They are doing the experiment for each and every. For example, this 12,000 project basically which is going to start now. Before that start basically they are doing the experiment of these words basically in that Italy city basically. In that Italy city, and in that Italy city basically they are passing the power data basically. After that only basically they are passing this data basically, that is this data. Otherwise what will happen? If they are not doing the experiment, then this group basically are doing the discussion. In that same time basically it might possible that basically the something basically will get attract basically. That might be the seawater, but immediately basically it doesn't get attract basically. It takes time basically. The discussion basically keeps on going for certain days. Then basically it might possible that basically, but that basically very rare happens basically. This type of incidents basically very rare happens, because this project basically are connected with the many people basically. That's why, and there that is connected with these 22 blood groups. That's why basically this type of thing basically never, very rare happens. So Italy says that basically we are basically doing this type of experiments basically. After that only basically the project starts basically, and after that only the software company starts the project basically. So just see basically, before doing this starting the project basically, this list of activities which is already happened basically, and this group basically are doing the whole experiment basically, because they will be responsible for this. That's why. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this.